By Kellogg's, from great starts come great things. By Panasonic Tough Pad Tablet, Fearless. And by B&W, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Well, we got our first two Olympic spots, taking the night on the women's 100 fly, and Andrea Kramer is with both of them.
Thanks very much, Dan. Claire Donahue, I don't even know if we could call it an upset. It's just an amazing feeling. What is it like for you to make the Olympics?
I still can't believe it. I looked up and saw number 2, and that's all I was looking for. I'm just so happy. There's not words.
Dana, happiness for you as well. So much disappointment 4 years ago. What is it like to get back to the Olympics?
First, it's a relief just to look up and see that I made it. I mean, it all comes down to that final, and it's kind of anybody's game. And, you know, I went in thinking I didn't have to break a world record. I didn't have to do anything special. I just needed to get myself on that team. So I'm so excited to get the chance to do it in London.
All right, ladies, congratulations. And go sign the phone booth. Go ahead, go on, walk over. There. Dan, back to you.
There's Claire Donahue flashing the Western Kentucky University banner. A great moment, a first-time Olympian. Nothing like the emotion of that. And Dana Vollmer's back on a team.
The joy of becoming the first-time Olympian is incredible. And Dana Vollmer coming back after that disappointment in 08. Incredible.
Well, a couple of guys coming up who have been there, done that. Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte in the second semi of the 200 free. We saw Ryan Lochte win out in the 400 IM last night. They've got a couple of more duels set here, the 200 IM later on, and this 200 free. Lochte got the best of him last night. How do you feel about Phelps maybe coming back in this 200 free?
Well, Lochte won the long one, but now we're getting the territory that Michael loves, the 100s and the 200s. But I wouldn't make too much out of the semi. They're not going to show a lot of strategy here, Dan. But what I'm looking for is for them to swim, get in, and then get the heck out of Dodge. They need to get back to their hotel rooms and rest.
Again, the objective, make the final 8, and Peter Vanderkay already has the relief of making another Olympic team his third, as Lochte and Phelps will swim in the second semi. This is Vanderkay, who will go in lane 3 after winning the 400 free last night, and afterward he said it doesn't get easier the older you get. He's 28 years old, but he's on his third Olympic team and trying to make it in another event here in the 200 free. You've got Davis Tarwater down there in lane 6. He's a good story. Didn't make the team 4 years ago. It was extremely disappointing, especially after he was the favorite, big favorite, to come in second to Michael Phelps in the 200 fly. He finished third, left the sport, went to Oxford, and he even has a 30-hour-a-week job developing banking systems for third world countries. So this guy has a job and also in the business of trying to get back to an Olympic team after coming pretty close 4 years ago. So Tarwater's down there in lane 6. 4 lengths of the pool in the men's 200 free. Again, the first of 2 semifinals. Charlie Houchin there is just below Vanderkay in lane 4, and he's been pretty impressive. He was 4th in the 400 free last night.
We talk about the good story of Tarwater. I was talking to his coach, David Marsh, earlier, and he said, you know, some of his other athletes in the semis, Nick Bowman's coming up, they don't have to let all their emotions be thrown into this race. But he said Davis Tarwater's got to let it go. He cannot set back because the idea is you have to get in that final. You have a great chance of making the Olympic team if you make the final of the 200 freestyle.
And Tarwater wasting no time going out there, establishing the early lead. It was Adam Ritter below him in lane 7 who was second. Vanderkay was running back of the pack, but it is early. There goes Tarwater.
They jumped on that first 50, which is a little bit of concern. You want the emotions to play into it as much as possible, but you've got to keep that control. That first 50, I think he might have overswum that first 50 just a touch, but it does give you the confidence when you put it 100. You know that you're a full body length ahead of the rest of the field. If he can get second or third here, he might have a chance to get it. This is the weaker of the 2 semifinals.
Vanderkay is going to have to make up some ground. He was 7th after that last turn. You see Vanderkay 3rd from the top, trying to inch up on 3 or 4 other swimmers who are ahead of him as they make the final turn.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. He has to be at least 3rd to have a chance. If he's 4th, it's going to be very, very tough to make it back to the finals. He's trying to get back into this. And look at Davis Tarwater trying to hang on as much as possible. Did that
Tarwater trying to hang on. But just above him is Matt McLean in lane 5, who's going to win the heat. Charlie Houchin was second. Vander Kay was fourth. Tarwater was third.
That's pretty good. I think 47 plus is going to make it 47.9, but 48.1 for Vander Kay. He is definitely on the outside looking in. Great close by Houchin and McLean. And McLean needed that one, didn't he? He finished 9th in the 400 freestyle and had a great shot of making the Olympic team in that. But watch this coming home. Boy, McLean really put the hammer home the last 5 or 10 meters. And watch him stick that wall. He'll move on with 147.4. There he is right there. Right above him is Peter Vander Kay. Excuse me, that's Houchin. And then right above him is Vander Kay. Getting fourth. I don't know, Dan. It's going to be tough.
So a good bounce-back swim for 24-year-old Matt McLean, who didn't make the final, as you mentioned, of the 400. Had a shot, and then Houchin was fourth in that 400 free. He comes back in the second spot, followed by Tarwater and Vander Kay. We'll see how the second semifinal goes to determine the final 8. So ready for the second semifinal, and another chance to see Ryan Lochte and Michael Phelps right next to each other. It was Lochte winning the duel last night in the 400 IM, and then again, this is just a semifinal as Phelps is the defending Olympic champion in this event. In fact, as Coach Bob Bowman said, of all the races that he has seen Michael race, the 200 for gold in Beijing was the best he's ever seen. 14-time Olympic gold medalist, most of all time. 16 total medals for Michael. In fact, he has all gold and 2 bronze. One of those bronze coming back in 2004 at the Games in Athens when he raced in the 200. It was one of the great fields we have seen in the history of the Olympics. He finished third in that event just because he wanted to take on his rival Ian Thorpe there. Well, now he's got a new rival. He's his American teammate, Ryan Lochte, who won the World Championships and beat Michael Phelps on his way to breaking Phelps' world record. So it's Lochte in lane 4, Phelps in lane 5. Connor Dwyer has already made the Olympics, finishing behind Vander Kay in the 400 free, and he's above Lochte in lane 3. Another swimmer to watch is Michael Klee as well down there in lane 6, but again, Lochte and Phelps stealing the focus.
Boy, when we watched Ryan Lochte swim this morning, it's just incredible the gears this guy has to be able to go from first to fourth and then back down, Dan. I mean, he literally swam about 150 meters this morning at about 80%. Then he went 35 fast, maybe 100%. And then the last 15 meters was probably 10%. It was just incredible the gears he has. And he reminds me of what Michael was able to do 4 years ago. It's the same thing with the walls. He's got great walls.
Lochte has just stepped up the training from 4 years ago. He goes through kind of one of those strongman routines a couple of times a week where he flips over 450-pound tires, drags huge boat chains across the street. He has just given it his all in his effort to shine in London.
Look at this, Dan, right there. You've got 5 swimmers virtually dead even
at the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Well, it was Connor Dwyer in lane 3 who just had the edge on all the swimmers. Ricky Behrens is up there in lane 2 above him, who was second. Phelps and Lochte were 3 and 4, and again, they are really bunched up as they head to the final turn.
Yeah, look at this. There's Klee right here. He's still in it. He was third in the 400. Phelps looking pretty good right above him. And then Lochte, watch Lochte. This is a big sign right here. What happens on this turn? Lochte stayed underwater a little longer, but both of them took off.
Yeah, guess who was emerged out at the front? You got Ryan Lochte in lane 4, and below him is Michael Phelps in lane 5. They're battling down the stretch. They're going to go 1-2. What order is it going to be? Lochte just barely over Phelps. 100th of a second. Mom Debbie in the stands. Hillary to her left. Michael's sister.
Well, obviously, we'll move on. But both of them have so much left. I think each one of them has about 2 seconds left to go.
Look at synchronized swimming.
Doesn't it? It really does. Watch them all together. That's 5 swimmers flipping, 6 swimmers flipping virtually dead even, but that's at the halfway point. Now watch at the third 50 here, and watch what Lotche does with that blue cap. There's Phelps right there. Both of them, not much of a difference there. Maybe Lotche about a half a stroke longer underneath the water, and at this point it really doesn't matter. They're just kind of having fun getting in here. It has no bearing on whatsoever.
Is this building for tomorrow night or what? That is going to be a huge final in the 200 free.
And Vanderkay was ninth, by the way.
Yeah. Peter Vanderkay is the big news outside of that top 8. 9th spot, just outside of the swimmers that advanced to the final. Led by the world champion Ryan Lotche, and Michael Phelps 2/100th of a second behind the defending Olympic gold medalist. Connor Dwyer was 3rd. Lotche and Phelps will go at it again at another great final in these trials tomorrow night.